Have you ever felt the inexorable sensation that your life is on autopilot? Like you're living out a script you didn't write, repeating patterns you thought you'd escaped, watching your deepest desires drift just out of reach, as if something invisible is constantly pulling you off course. The truth is, it's not your imagination, it's not bad luck, and it's certainly not the universe ignoring you. It's a code, not a metaphorical one, but a real, measurable, vibrational code encoded in your subconscious that's quietly instructing the quantum field on what to collapse your reality into. And until you consciously rewrite that code, it's still running, looping, broadcasting frequencies that attract more of what you've already lived. This is not philosophy, this is physics, say scientists. In quantum mechanics, we know that nothing exists as a fixed outcome until it is observed. This is the observer effect, a principle that destroys the very idea of a stable, objective world. But here's where it gets deeper. Your subconscious is always watching, even when you're not aware of it. Even when your conscious mind says, I want abundance, your subconscious may still be transmitting, I'm not good enough. And that, my friend, is what the field hears. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to who you are, underneath the thoughts, underneath the affirmations, at the frequency level of the subconscious programming. Dr. Bruce Lipton's research into epigenetics shows that nearly 95% of what we do, feel, and attract is driven not by conscious intent, but by subconscious programming inherited, installed, and reinforced from childhood. But even more powerful than his findings is what they imply. Your biology is not your destiny, your vibration is, and vibration is programmable. Right now, you are projecting a vibrational identity out into the field, not with your words, but with your emotional tone. Imagine yourself as a quantum broadcaster, constantly emitting a signal that tells the universe what to reflect back to you. And here's the twist no one sees coming. Your subconscious doesn't just reflect the past, it chooses your version of the future. There are infinite versions of you right now, living completely different lives in a quantum soup of potential. A version that has already healed, a version that has already broken the pattern, a version that is already living the life you crave. They are all real, they are all vibrating, but you can only collapse into the version that matches your current subconscious frequency. The truth is, you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. It's a code, and that code is not a concept. It's a frequency structure made up of memories, beliefs, expectations, and the emotional chemistry of your daily state. If you wake up feeling fear, guilt, or pressure, that's not just an emotion. It's data, it's an instruction manual, it's a quantum script, and the universe is a projector. You're not broken, you're not behind, you're not blocked, say the experts. You're just vibrating on the wrong code. But here's the miracle buried within this machine. The codes can be rewritten, the frequencies can be recalibrated, and once you shift the transmission, once you change the subconscious identity field, external reality cannot help but reorganize. This is not visualization. This is not wishful thinking. This is quantum causality. The subconscious is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the observer collapsing infinite potentials into one lived reality. And until you become aware of the subconscious, you will continue to wake up in the same cycle, calling it fate, calling it karma, calling it just the way life is. But life doesn't happen to you, it reacts to you. It reflects your deepest, most consistent frequency. Let me ask you this. If your current life is a reflection of your subconscious code, do you like what it is showing you? If not, then welcome. Because this is not just a video, it is the beginning of your quantum override. In the next chapter, you will learn exactly how this code was installed and, more importantly, how to break it. I will show you why the most powerful tools are not logical, but vibrational, and why intention without frequency alignment is like trying to tune a radio with the wrong dial. We are going to look under the hood of the matrix, and you will learn to speak a language the universe truly understands. Identity, emotion, and energetic coherence. Take a breath, because the deeper you feel this, the faster the shift begins. Let's collapse into a new code. Most people believe that they think their own thoughts. They believe that their preferences, reactions, and desires are the result of free will, conscious decisions, and maybe a little luck. But neuroscience and quantum biology tell a different story, one that is far more disturbing and far more inspiring. By the time you're 7 years old, your brain has already downloaded most of the software that will govern your adult life. Think about it for a moment. Before you even knew what a belief was, you were forming them by absorbing emotional blueprints from your parents, your environment, your culture, and those blueprints didn't just shape your worldview, they shaped your vibrational field. In those early years, your brain is in theta state, the same brainwave frequency used in deep hypnosis. You weren't just learning to talk or walk, you were learning to feel worthy, how to receive love, how to respond to fear, how to survive in a world you couldn't yet explain. And each of these learned emotional responses was stored as a vibration. They became the operating system of your subconscious, a script that runs silently but powerfully, a script that determines what relationships you attract, what opportunities you draw, what patterns you repeat, and what realities you collapse from the quantum field. And here's where things get quantum. This subconscious script doesn't just live in your brain, it lives in your nervous system, in the electromagnetic field of your heart, in your hormonal chemistry. It's an embodied frequency. And the quantum field, the infinite intelligence that surrounds and connects all things, doesn't speak in words, it speaks in vibration. It doesn't hear what you want, it responds to who you are. This is why most manifestations don't work, because people are trying to change their lives from a thought level while still carrying a frequency of lack, fear, or unworthiness. They visualize abundance with a heart that still resonates with poverty. They affirm love while their body remembers betrayal. You can't outsmart your vibration, but you can reprogram it. Joe Dispenza calls it breaking the habit of being you. Neville Goddard taught that you must live from a state of fulfilled desire, not toward it, because in quantum mechanics, the outcome you observe is shaped by the state of being of the observer. In other words, reality corresponds to identity. So how do you change identity? Not by forcing new thoughts, but by going into the subconscious, the place where frequency becomes destiny, in shifting the emotional signal you are transmitting. That's when the code begins to be rewritten. And no, it doesn't require reliving all of your trauma. It doesn't require years of talk therapy. What it does require is coherence, a synchronicity between your heart, your brain, and your chosen future. You have to become the vibration of your new reality, not just think about it. Now let's get practical. You can begin to shift your code by doing one simple but powerful thing. Begin to notice the emotional tone of your body before your mind tells the story about it. Are you tense, anxious? Is your breathing shallow? Is your chest tight? These are not random symptoms. They are vibrational echoes of the past trying to dictate your future. When you begin to interrupt that signal with conscious presence, breathing, visualization, new emotional anchors, you are no longer just reacting, you are reprogramming. You are hacking the frequency in the field notices. This is how new timelines open up. This is how the quantum field begins to represent synchronicities, new possibilities, and new mirror images of your new vibration. Now, if what you just heard opened anything up inside of you, if you feel your internal script starting to fade, throw it in the comments. I'm waking up to code. Seriously, say it, type it, pin it. Your words carry a vibration, and this is your first shift. And if you felt even one truth deeply settle into your body right now, then you already know that this is not just a video, this is a remembrance. So hit subscribe, not for more content, but to stay within this frequency. This is your space now, and I'm not building an audience here, I'm building a field. We're just getting started. In the next part, we'll dive into the actual point of collapse, the moment when the quantum field crystallizes your chosen reality. You will understand why the version of your life you want already exists and how to collapse into it not through effort, but through alignment. There is a moment, invisible, instantaneous, and irreversible, when the quantum field crystallizes possibility into your lived experience. It doesn't announce itself, it doesn't come with fireworks, but it changes everything. This moment is called the collapse of the wave function. And understanding it is not just a lesson in quantum physics, it is a blueprint for how to shift timelines, realities, identities from within. Let's simplify what is usually made complicated. In quantum mechanics, particles do not exist in a fixed state until they are observed. Until then, they are a cloud of probabilities, a wave of potential outcomes. This means that your life right now is not one predetermined path. It is a soup of infinite versions waiting for a signal. And that signal is you, not the you try to visualize once a day, not the you who repeats affirmations, but the vibrational observer you are in every moment through your emotions, your identity, your frequency. This is where it gets real. The version of your life you most desire already exists in the field. Not metaphorically, not hopefully, but literally, say the experts. This is one of many possible wave patterns the field can collapse into, but it will only do so when it receives the appropriate signal. The field doesn't care about your goals. It's not sentimental. It's not moral. It's mathematically coherent, vibrationally precise. It reflects who you are now. This is what physicist John Wheeler meant when he said, "We live in a participatory universe, where the observer is not separate from the outcome, but the very cause of it." So when does collapse happen? It happens the moment your identity coincides with your intention. It happens when the inner state of having becomes more dominant than the outer state of expectation, when the emotional body experiences a future memory so deeply that the brain can't distinguish between the present and what's to come. This is why most people never collapse into a new reality, because they vibrate from the absence of what they want, not the presence of it. You cannot collapse abundance while emotionally entangled with scarcity. You cannot collapse love while entangled with fear. This is not punishment, it is resonance. Reality bends for coherence, and coherence is emotional alignment. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman, let's call her Maya, who had spent years trying to manifest a career breakthrough. She did everything right. Vision boards, gratitude journals, long meditations. But nothing changed. Until one night, in complete emotional exhaustion, she stopped trying and surrendered to being. She stopped visualizing the outcome and began to embody the version of herself that already had it. She adjusted her posture, her breathing, her tone. She moved through the world as if it were already true, and something shifted. Emails came in. Opportunities lined up. Her outer reality reorganized, not because she did more, but because she became more. What changed? She entered vibrational coherence. She collapsed the wave. She became an observer whose state of being conjured a new reality. This moment can happen to you, not someday, not after the 21-day challenge. It can happen now. The moment you stop trying to get and start tuning into the version of you that already is. Because that version is real, it exists, it is you in a parallel state, vibrating at a frequency that your current identity may have forgotten, but you can remember, you can reconnect, and when you do, when that signal stabilizes, the field will not waver. It will shift instantly, irreversibly, precisely. This is the point of collapse, not just the moment your reality changes, but the moment you change. In the next section, we are not just going to talk about it, we are going to practice it. You are going to experience a quantum technique, a frequency alignment protocol that activates dormant energy, dissolves old identity, and allows a new vibration to take root. Now is the time to stop talking about the shift and start making it real. You have felt it, haven't you? That subtle inner hum, like something ancient and infinite inside you is starting to stir. Like a memory you never knew you had is starting to surface. It is not a coincidence. It is not a suggestion. It is an activation. Because when you truly understand that reality does not respond to thought, it responds to vibration, something fundamental within you begins to reorganize. You realize that you have been walking through life with infinite power in your field, but you have not been aware of the switch that turns it on. Today, we flip that switch. This technique is not complicated. In fact, its simplicity is part of its quantum precision. You are not trying to do anything. You are shifting the frequency from which your life emerges. It is called the Quantum Coherence Protocol. Let's begin. Step 1. Anchor in your heart field. Close your eyes if you are not driving and bring all of your awareness into the center of your chest, not as an idea, but as a feeling. Breathe into this space slowly, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Over and over, as you do this, your brain waves begin to slow, your nervous system begins to go into regulation. You are moving out of the stress signature of your old timeline. Now, as your breathing deepens, imagine your heart glowing, yes, glowing, radiating light outward in all directions. Imagine this light pulsating gently, expanding with each breath, as if it is remembering who it really is. This is not visualization for the sake of images. This is frequency work. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. When you shift this field into coherence, you create resonance with the quantum matrix. You become a beacon broadcasting your chosen reality to infinity. Stay there, breathe, feel it. Step 2. Enter the identity of your future self. Now ask your body one question, not your mind, but your body. How does it feel to already be living the version of the life I am trying to attract? And then feel it. Don't analyze, don't wait for a vision. Just breathe this version of you into your system. The version of you that is no longer seeking, but already embodying. Who are you in this timeline? How do you walk? How do you talk? What emotion fills your chest when you know it's already done? This is the access point, because emotion is the signature of the future. Now amplify it, turn it up, let your nervous system bathe in the chemicals of completion, of abundance, of unconditional joy. Not because they are coming, but because they are here, because you remembered how to feel it in the first place. You're not trying to trick your brain, you're aligning your biology, and when your biology aligns with the vibrational signature of your future, the quantum field should reflect that. It's not magic, it's resonance. Step 3. Establish the new code. Now we lock it in. With your heart still glowing and your future identity still vibrating, say this out loud or silently. I am now broadcasting the frequency of my chosen reality. I am coherent, aligned, and remembered. The field is listening. I receive. Repeat this 3 times. Feel the words. Don't say them as an affirmation. Say them as an energetic fact, as if you are declaring the code into the matrix, because you are doing it. This is more than thinking. It is energetic authorship. And here is the deeper truth. The moment you speak from the future, the past begins to lose its grip. Your cellular memory begins to rewrite. Your energetic architecture begins to renew. You are not fixing the old you are replacing it. This is quantum replacement therapy, and it works. Step 4. Seal the transmission. Place one hand on your heart, one on your stomach. Say this: I allow myself to remember who I really am. I am not becoming, I have arrived. This is the vibration I choose, and I am staying here. Then take 3 deep, grounding breaths. Allow the new code to integrate. And when you open your eyes, move this version of yourself forward. Stand differently, sit differently. Move as if the future has already happened, because energetically it has. You have just collapsed into a new vibrational address. The field is now responding. And if this transmission has ignited something inside of you, don't just passively like and subscribe, not for the next video, because this is not a channel, this is a vibrational field that you have just joined. And we go deeper from here. Now let the old timeline fall away. You are no longer in this scenario. In the next block, we will talk about how to keep this frequency active, how to stabilize the new code, and how to become a magnet for higher realities. Because transformation is not just a moment, it is a frequency that you remain in. Do you feel it? That shift in texture, that subtle but undeniable stillness in your body, like something has finally exhaled. You are not the same person who pressed play on this video, and this is not poetry, this is physics. Because in the quantum field, every time you embody a new frequency, the field responds. Not later, not tomorrow, but now. So if something feels different, it's because it is. You've crossed a vibrational threshold. You've met a version of yourself that is no longer seeking alignment, but radiating it. You didn't just visualize a new life, you stepped into it, you felt it in your body, you encoded it into your nervous system, you broadcast it into the matrix. And that signal, it's alive. But let's be clear, this moment, This activation is not the end of the road, it's a door. The quantum field is infinite. It contains every possible version of you, every timeline, every outcome, every identity. And what you've accessed today is one layer, one frequency shift, one collapse. The real transformation begins when you choose to hold that signal. Because make no mistake, the old timeline will try to pull you back, not out of malice, not because you failed, but because vibration is habit, familiar, addictive. The brain craves the known, even when it hurts. Your nervous system may want to return to the emotional chemistry of the past, the stress, the doubt, the struggle. Not because it feels good, but because it feels safe. But you're not here for safety, you're here for expansion. Expansion doesn't mean more effort, it means deeper embodiment. It means choosing, moment by moment, to remain anchored in the version of you that is already living the truth you came here to remember, the experts say. That truth is that you don't have to earn your new reality. You just have to stabilize the frequency of the you that already has it. That's the essence of quantum manifestation. It's not about convincing the universe. It's about becoming coherent with the version of you the universe is already aligned with. You don't attract anything, you align yourself. So how do you continue to align? You commit not to an outcome, but to resonance. You build rituals not for discipline, but for calibration. You breathe intentionally. You move from presence. You speak from the future even when the present contradicts it. Because coherence is not a one-time feeling, it's a way of life. It's how you walk into a room, how you respond to your messages, how you vibrate when no one is looking. And when you embody that vibration over and over again, you create a field around you, a gravitational pull that begins to reorganize everything. The right people show up. Timing becomes divine. Obstacles dissolve without explanation. Not because you forced anything, but because you finally stopped vibrating the version of yourself that you were supposed to. Now your only job is to stay on the signal. And when you stray, because you will return, gently, quickly, powerfully, you have the tools now, you have activated the awareness, you have experienced the transmission. You don't need motivation, you have the memory, cellular, energetic, ancestral. I want you to say this with me, not as a mantra, but as an imprint. I remember, I receive, I remain. And if you have felt held, moved, or even just seen on this journey, then stay close. Hit subscribe, not as a subscriber, but as a field builder. Because this space is not just about learning, it is about remembering together. And I am not here just to teach, I am here to hold the frequency with you. We are not a community of seekers, we are observers collapsing new realities. And this field, our field, is only stronger because you are now part of it. So take one last breath, exhale the old script, and step forward into the timeline that has always been waiting for your yes. The code is active, the signal is clear, the future is listening. Want to hack your reality even more? Subscribe and we'll continue our journey to unlimited possibilities.